Hey there, my Virgo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Welcome to your Twin Flame contract reading for November-ish 2019. Figure it's about midway, the rest of this month, about halfway into next month. Although these readings are very fluid in terms of time, I'm finding in general, not just myself, but with other readers. If you are new to the channel, I am your reader, Mark Angelo, Lyons Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, and president of DrawingTheCircle Productions, and 4 planets in Virgo, including my sun sign. So I am a Virgo Sun, Pisces Moon, Leo Rising, Venus in Libra. Do you care? Probably not, but at least you know where I'm coming from, right? To my subscribers, thank you so much for following along. If you are new, please do like and subscribe, and I'm making a promise that once I hit 1,000 plus subscribers, I'm going to do super live chat pretty much on the regular, but once a month I will do what's called Drunk Tarot. I'm not a big drinker. I never drink when I work. Virgo, right? Just did a party on Sunday, 50th birthday for a dear friend of mine, and people were drinking, having a good time, and I was sitting in the living room on the sectional, right, like reading on the coffee table, here, there. Everybody was like up in everybody else's biz, which was a lot of fun, and they were like, do you want a drink? I'm like, not unless you want my edit function to shut off. So my issue is not about clarity when I drink, it's about diplomacy, so that's why I don't do it. But I am a fun drunk. Dionysus is my main patron. Really, no matter what happens, at the end of the day, it's me and the big D. I have a very big D with me all the time. So yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be for entertainment purposes only, but I bet the clarity is right on because that's just how I roll. Let's get down to business. By the way, if you are new to this, to the process, I have to do this every time because particularly with Twin Flame and Soulmate reads, I have some splaining to do. So if you'd like to jump ahead, I hope somebody puts a timestamp in. I just forget to do it. I mean, I'm on a schedule. I'm a Virgo, right? So jump ahead to the reading if you've heard this stuff before. It's fine, you've heard it all before. But if you're new, you might want to have a listen. Because, number one, this is a general read, not a personal read. I'm not reading just you, right? I'm reading hundreds of thousands of people, maybe even millions, in different zodiacal clumps, right? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, all in Venus. That's a lot of, all in Virgo. That's a lot of people. So not every story is going to resonate with everybody, but that's why I do Sun, Moon, Rising reads. Minimum with a zodiacal read. We'll throw in Venus for relationships. You see them all over YouTube. Check your other signs, but also know that if something doesn't resonate with you, it's not your read. And also, this is how you know it doesn't resonate. Meh. Right? It's like maybe it makes sense. Don't try and make it fit. It's crazy making. You'll know by how it feels in your body through either intense animated attraction or repulsion. In other words, like, oh, that totally makes sense, or oh, I fucking hate that. If it's that kind of reaction, it's your read. You just may not like what you're hearing. And believe me, that's for everybody. That's not just you, right? Second of all, my definition of soulmates is a little bit different than what you're probably used to. Check the description box below. There are some vids on there. One from a brilliant spiritual teacher by the name of KAHN called Soul Contracts, Soul Contracts, Twin Flames and Soulmates Redefined. Really good. Spun my head around in the right direction the best way possible. I even have done my own videos clarifying that for my work as a reader. All right, so the twin flame contract is pre-incarnational agreement that you make with another soul. You have hundreds of them right there. People are like, what do you mean I have more than one twin flame? Yeah, it's a type of contract where the bottom line of the contract is that these contracts teach you how to love yourself, teach you how to heal yourself, teach you how to respect yourself, approve of yourself, all of the self stuff, because twin flame contracts are turbulent. They are transformative, and by definition, you cannot give each other what you really want, but they do teach you how to give yourself what you want. You may be giving each other what you need, however, which is sometimes a lot of turbulence, a lot of toxicity, a lot of alliteration with the letter T, right? Triggery, troublesome, turbulent. You sort of get the vibe, and you have hundreds in one lifetime, most likely, as well as you have satisfying soulmate relationships. Where are the ones that help you heal? They're symbiotic, they're sympathetic, they're snuggly, they're comforting, but they don't have that zazazoo of a twin flame. Oh my God, I can't believe I just Sex in the City'd myself. So you with me? Third thing, we are going to be looking at this in a divine feminine, divine masculine context. It's not about bodily gender. I know a lot of people say that. I would prefer to say divine yin and divine yang. But divine masculine, divine feminine, divine masculine, that's the lingo that's being used. So I'm going to roll with it. I do consider myself a divine feminine. But different people bring out different energetic dynamics. With my mom, you know, I'm the prince. She's the queen. I'm the prince. It just kind of happens that way. When I am dating certain men, I'm gay. Spoiler alert. Some guys definitely bring out the dom top in me. I'm a top, right? Daddy. I'm like, all right, yeah, I am, I guess, right in this moment, right? A little out of nowhere. But otherwise, you know, other men that I'm with brings out the goddess in me, and it's just a magnificent, nurturing, divine embodiment experience. Yes, I have studied Tantra and Western sex magic. Nothing like having a god do it through you while they're doing it to you. So that's divine masculine, divine feminine. What else did we have to say? Oh yes, in the description box below are the links for all of the cards that I'm using in this spread and all the other ones. I just don't edit it absolutely every single time. In there as well are links for my 2 ebooks, Spell Ingredients, then Words of Grace. Words of Grace saved my life writing that book. This time last year we published at Yule. So go check them out. Their reviews are actually really good. Yeah, I guess that's it. Breathe. Please remember to breathe. That on the inhale you're bringing in all the chi, the prana, the grace that you need. For that moment, exhaling all that's ready to go in that moment, as well as sending those blessings out into the world. And that's just how it is, apparently. We are life, right? Nobody inhales at the moment of their death, right? It's like that's the life force. That's us as one. The silent I love you, as KAHN calls it. That's just like, oh my goodness, I love that. So let's dive in. We're going to pull 3 Caroline Myss archetype cards to represent, one for the divine feminine, one for the divine masculine, one for the contract in and of itself. Not just the 2 of them together, but the nature of the contract at this moment, keeping in mind that time is fluid, right? Here we go. Please breathe. Oh, my collective pantheons of angels, gods, goddesses, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Oh, that feels good. Please, 1 card for the divine feminine in this Virgo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, twin flame contract for November-ish 2019. And we've got the father energy. Ooh, daddy. I can't believe I just said that before. Once again, am I going to be in this actual reading that you're having me do? My pantheons, it's not fair. That's why I love doing the reads for signs that I don't have planets in. Didn't I just say I'm a divine feminine that can be daddy every now and again? My pussy with a rake, mom. Really at core, I'm a Katyaist. Ooh, that looks like a rake. Please, my pantheon, same thing, but now for the divine masculine in this Virgo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, twin flame contracts for November 2019. I feel you, I feel you. Who we got here? Ooh, the father and the priest. Now, both of which are called father, right? Now, priest, priestess. Let's keep that in mind. And we're not talking about bodily gender. But where this is a divine masculine archetype, in the role of a divine feminine, which is fine, right? It's like we all have both. Then this is a divine family archetype in the divine masculine place, the priest. We'll look at that. And it's not necessarily what you think, but it's part of it is what you think. Makes no sense to me. Okay, but we'll see. Good. Maybe this one isn't about me. That'd be nice for a change. Here we go. My pantheons of angels, gods, goddesses, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Please, one card for this Virgo collective sun, moon, rising, Venus sign, twin flame contract, November-ish 2019. And the Thief has popped up before. So this would be a father and a priest. Priestess, right? Priestess, because remember, we're not talking about bodily gender. In a thieving contract. Jinkies, I think this calls for a cup of coffee. Go get him, Diana. I'm going to read these three, what's written on them, and then we're going to use every other deck on the table here to clarify them so we get really, really clear, Virgo precision clear, what this contract is about. Every archetype is shadow and light, lead and gold. The contract, really, the beauty, the divine nature of the contract is that it's everything in the contract is helping you to move the lead into the gold, alchemize the lead into the gold, the shadow into the light. It's all about healing. Shadow attribute, dictatorial control, abuse of authority. Look, I'm a witch. I am well aware of how well trained I am. I am well aware that as I grow and evolve, we have no ultimate control, right? And that everything is written in the divine plan. It's all scripted, but we have free will. Free will and control are not the same thing, right? So dictatorial control, I mean, even over myself, sometimes I hold myself to such a rigid schedule of doing these videos that now that I have this head cold, don't know if I've mentioned it, I have in the other videos, I've been hacking my brains out through them. I broke down and I took the Alka-Seltzer Plus cold daytime. I will not take nighttime, pass out in the middle of a read. So I can be very dictatorial and abuse my own authority of myself, like drive myself, because Virgo, you're right, you're with me. The light attribute of the father archetype, talent for creating and supporting life, positive guiding light within a tribal unit. Now, not necessarily a leader, but a guiding light, and that I can be. You know, it's so funny that as I got older, I went from, well, I used to be a twink, right? The gay people will understand the lingo, right? I used to be a twink, but, you know, I'm not anymore. All of a sudden, I'm daddy. I'm not a bear, right? I don't have the heft, you know, I'd rather be dragged across salted broken glass than go to a gym. I'm a dancer. I was a professional dancer for a hot second. Not on the pole, believe it or not. No, modern dance, trained my whole life. So, you know, to embrace being a father, it's just part of the cycle, right? Where with the goddess it's maiden, mother, crone. For the god, it's son, father, sage. So I'm not quite in sage mode yet. I'm still in daddy mode. So I get that. That's really just a lovely thing. So for the divine feminines, that might be a little hard if you are in a feminine body to get that. But if you can really think of that as look at where you're dictatorial, right? Where you abuse your authority even unto yourselves, because it's divine feminine, it would be more yin. But that how you are, you know, a talent for creating and supporting life. So there's a big part of creativity, the primogenitor vibe in there, the seed planter, and then to be a positive guiding light in a tribal unit, right? That you can, I was like, oh yeah, I do have that, right? Let's look at this priestess archetype for the divine masculine. Shadow attribute violates the trust of your spiritual community, seduced by your own spiritual role. Now, okay, that indicates here that this divine masculine is on some kind of spiritual path, which is really nice to see. Most, like all the people that I know that are on spiritual paths, I mean in my personal life, tend to be divine feminine, right? Like either women or gay men, right? Just how it is in my experience, and blessed be. So regardless of gender or gender preference here, this divine masculine in the shadow, interesting, dictatorial control, abuse of power, the father, and violates the trust of spiritual community, seduced by your own spiritual role. I think we know what the shadow priest or the shadow priestess is like, and if you don't, join a coven for a couple of years, you'll see it. Technically I'm still a member of my coven. I helped found it. I haven't broke any of the faults in the fault system that I fucking helped, right? But for all I know, I really would never go back to coven life again. Been there, done that, have the torch t-shirt, over it. The toxicity of tribal dictate, ridiculous, and I ain't that tribal, right? So with that shadow attribute, and we all know about like clergy abuse and shit like that, but unless this person is literally clergy, I'm not getting the feel on that, then this is something perhaps the spiritual ego has taken them over. And spiritual ego is a conversation for a whole other day. Go watch videos, Matt KAHN, All for Love. He's amazing. He really explains it better than I can right now. The light attribute. The gold we're shooting for here, divine masculines, facilitates spiritual commitments, serves as a channel of spiritual energy. So that right there, this takes it out of the context of romantic sexual for me, because otherwise would kind of be icky. Don't know why, just feeling that, like the clergy abuse scandals, like pedophilia and all that stuff. It's just, oh fuck, why, right? Ugh, right? So I'm not feeling that here, that this is a literal priest or priestess in that sense, but to facilitate spiritual commitments, right? Commitments to themselves. I commit to walk my path no matter what, and to serve as a channel of spiritual energy. So, you know, Reiki, Schmakey, eggs and bakey, whatever it is, definitely on a spiritual path here. And this one's really weird then. With that father and with that priest, we've got the thief archetype. Now, we really have to keep this one in mind throughout. My guides are kind of saying, like, keep your eye on this one. Like, you want to keep an eye on someone who you know is a thief. Shadow attribute, stealing money, creative ideas, affection, right? Stealing affection or other powers that you think you lack. So that might mean that there is a stealing back and forth between these two if one feels like the other has what they lack, almost like energetic cannibalism, right? It's like you're gonna like eat your own kind, right? It's particularly because of father and a priest, because a priest can be called father, even though we're not talking gender here. So what's the light attribute? I love this. Sheds light on the potential wealth within you that can never be stolen, right? So instead of stealing, when that archetypal urge to thieve, to steal, to cannibalize, to victimize another, to get what you want, perhaps putting them down makes you feel better, which can be both of these, right? A little toxic, a lot of toxic. To stop back and go, no, I am better than this, I'm better than this. Please let me shine a light on that which can never be stolen from within me. But that doesn't mean we won't give it away, right? So that's tricky. This is a twin flamey, whamey, timey-wimey. Breathe while I sip. All right, let's clarify these puppies with three, healing with the Angels Oracle, Doreen Virtue. Please, my angels, one card in clarity for the Divine Feminine in this Virgo collective twin flame relationship for November. Please, one card. Study. Perfect. Oh, give me something new to study and learn, said the Virgo 4 planets second house. Makes sense, right? It's like the divine feminine father archetype saying, all right, well, we're going to take action on this, but we're going to take action by study. Let's really see this as the lesson that it is. Let's learn, let's heal, let's grow, so that I can continue into being a guiding light, right? It's like if someone's going to be a guiding light, light is truth, they need to really get clear. Well, what is the truth? Even if there is some detective-ing going on. My angels, the same, please. Please pardon me, that post-nasal drip's ridiculous, and I did take the over-the-counter meds. Please, my angels, one card in clarity for the divine masculine in this Virgo collective twin flame contract for November-ish. Power. So really the divine masculine here channeling spiritual power or misusing spiritual power. So here I really do see the feminine masculine dynamic where the feminine, though the father archetype, is like, let me absorb through study, right? Let me study this. Let me pull back. Let me heal, deal, learn, right? Twin flame contracts, they teach you how to heal, learn, love, learn about yourself, right? Boundaries, how to do all that. So the divine feminine, fine, got it. And then, of course, the priest, the divine masculine, there's some abuse of power, at least the temptation of. My angels, please then. One card in clarity for the overall relationship, the contract here. What is going on with this thief archetype in this Virgo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, twin flame contract for November-ish 2019? Well, celebration. This one might be done. Right, you usually celebrate things of rites of passage. Maybe that the thievery has come to an end. That would be like, what would be a cause for celebration? Rather than guess at this point, let's just keep going because we got a bunch of other decks to look at and we're making pretty good time. We're going to get 2 Daughters of the Moon Tarot, one for the Divine Feminine and one for the contract itself. We will follow that up with a different deck for the Divine Masculine and the contract itself. Oh my goddesses, please. One card in clarity for the Divine Feminine Father archetype in this Virgo collective twin flame contract for November-ish. I hear you, 2019, please. One card in clarity. Almost had that one. One card in clarity for the Divine Feminine Father archetype. Well, 5 of Blades, the Hurricane. Where's the safest place to be in a hurricane? The eye of the hurricane, the still point. Everything else swirls around it. That's the EYE. Where is the best place to be? In a mental hurricane. If one thought is a breath, what's a hurricane? In the eye. In the I am, right? The witness self. Watch. Don't try and stop the thoughts. Don't be battered by the thoughts. Stay in your center. Breathe. Be the breath. Be the breath. Those thoughts will spin. So there might be some obsessive thinking here. Not so bad as, you know, what is that? The 9 of Blades, which is a fucking nightmare. But there's a lot of changing thoughts and a lot of contradictory thoughts. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Stay, go. Darling, you've got to let me know. Should I stay or should I go? Oh, God. I miss the good music. I'm an old fart, aren't I? But I'm a hot old fart. That's not pretty. Let's get one. Excuse moi. For the contract itself. Please, my goddesses. One card in clarity for this Virgo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, twin flame contract for November-ish 2019. We've got the Thief with Celebration. What say you, my goddesses? Well, 9 of Cups, wish fulfillment, Kuan Yin, the Chinese Bodhisattva of compassion and contentment, which certainly softens this a whole lot. I love me some Kuan Yin. I've experienced her as a goddess, as a bodhisattva, as an ascended master. She's very multidimensional. I love her very much. Well, she loves everybody, so of course she loves me very much. But very gentle, very flowing here, and certainly indicative of Divine Feminine. This is a feminist deck. But the 9 of Cups, often called the wish fulfillment card, we're looking here and feeling about going with the flow, about letting things flow. And if this is really over, Rover, then it's like, okay, well, then this has run its course. I'm fine. I'm healing me, and not in that passive-aggressive way. No, I'm fine. Like, no, it's fine. I get my part in this, both sides. I get my part in this. And let it flow, let it go. Let the waters move you to and fro, I believe. It's conceived to be part of you and part of me. Great band called Gray Eye Glances from the 90s. Good song. Hermes, DJ Jazzy Hermes up there spinning shit in my cerebellum all day, every day. We didn't finish. I almost moved to the wrong decorino. That's okay. You can't see what's going on the table. I'll pop up the picture at the end. The Mythic Tarot. The Mythic Tarot, one for the Divine Masculine and one for the contract itself. Really, if you've ever brought a contract to a lawyer, this is kind of sort of what they do. I was raised by a lawyer. Mark the Shark Boy, raised by lawyers. They're actually, my stepfather is very, very proud of me. Zeus, as I like to call him. Oh, you had a Dionysian stepson. Brilliant, intuitive, with purple hair. What's not to love? He's a Libra, right? Perfect for a lawyer. Here we go. Oh, my gods. My gods, please. One card in clarity for the Divine Masculine in this Virgo collective. Good, I made you laugh. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs in this twin flame contract for November-ish 2019. All right, Four of Wands. Now, I know everybody goes, oh, 11-11 a card, right? When it's the Rider-Waite. Don't say 11-11 to me. I used to work for Solara. Starborn Unlimited, B-O-R-N-E. Google that shit. I was her personal assistant back in the 90s when I was in my 20s, girl. Oh, was my hair long. Oh, was I overweight. Oh, was I in my first marriage. The Four of Wands is certainly about that sense of, yes, some will say celebration. But in this deck, we've got Jason and the Argonauts about to embark on their journey to what? To get the golden fleece that Zeus has ordered Jason to retrieve. The thing about this card, then, it's sort of like, all right, look at him standing like in Superman pose there, saying, all right, well, we've got our party together. We've got everything. Let's just take a break, right? We've got this far. We may have some negotiating to do, but we are here because the next thing they are going to do is fight the dragon, right? That's the Five of Wands. They're going into battle. So there's a bit of a preparation here. So for this Divine Masculine, there may be a time of contemplation of will, right? Fire. About decisions. It's like, okay, well, what do we do from here? Not that indecision place, but more like a strategizing, more like, okay, well, this is what's worked in the past. This is what we're doing here. Let's just chill for a moment. Let's pause. Let's meditate and channel these choices, these decisions wisely, because we know what's up ahead, right? So it's not about do we want to or do we don't. That's indecision. This is now about, let's take this moment. How are we going to align our power? Ultimately, what you want to do if you're the Divine Masculine watching this is to align your mental Divine Masculine with your emotional Divine Feminine, with your choices, the Divine Child, right? Bring that into congruence. To act only according to your highest honor, your highest virtue that you are aware of, keeping in mind there will always be a higher interpretation of that. We're all doing the best that we can in that way. But if you're absolutely resorting to shadow activity, how do you know what a shadow activity is? You don't want anybody to know about it. If it was to be broadcast all over network television and beyond, you'd be mortified, right? So let's be clear, that's for all archetypes, light and shadow. Let's get one here for the contract itself. Please, oh please. My God. Dionysus, you want to pull this one for me? Love you so much. He's going to be my patron for next year, which should be one hell of a year. 2020 is going to be fucking awesome, starting at Yule. Please, my great gods, one card in clarity for this Virgo Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign twin flame contract for November-ish 2019. With the Thief archetype, we've got the High Priestess. So about intuition, right? About secrets being kept, but wisdom being held back until it's best revealed. Now, this is Persephone, who is one of my goddesses. I love her so much. Sits in the throne of Capricorn for me. But where she really is standing at the gates of the underworld, right? Already halfway down the steps. Well, not all the way halfway down those steps. Those steps are a little long. I just get the easy pass. The gods let you into the underworld when, you know, you're a mystic. It's like, just take the elevator instead of the slide, which is fucking horrible. Dark Night of the Soul much? That there is something here absolutely about the intuition, about the divine feminine in both of them, about this celebration, that perhaps there are secrets, wisdoms revealed here, that the contract, it's sort of like you get a little peek of the contract that's going on here, not just through this reading, but throughout this month you get a little bit more what it's about, what the purpose is for, what it is that's yours to heal, what it is that's yours to love within you. And then that sense of celebration makes sense, because with that Nine of Cups you get that, oh, this is how I fulfill my wishes, even if it's not in this particular contract. Both of you, it's like you can get what you want, just possibly not with each other, because a key has been revealed. Therefore, no need for thievery or stealing from each other ever again, if you can both play it that way, because something has been highlighted within you, the potential wealth that can never be stolen, right? Hidden wealth, hidden unto ourselves. It's like in paganism, people say, you know, we are the hidden children of the gods. I'm like, I agree, but hidden even unto ourselves, because children inherit the qualities of their parentage. So if we are the hidden children of the gods, then we are gods in process. Gips. That's horrible, but nonetheless true. Let's go in a little bit deeper with the Chuck Spezzano Love Pack. Divided it into the suit of problems, the Debbie Downer womp womp cards, and the other three suits, the luck, the healing, and the grace suit. For the lead and for the gold, we'll get 6, 2 for each of the three. Breathe. Oh, my masters, my ascended masters, please. Y'all are being brutal if this is me. I don't sense that it is, but whatever. Because I'm not in any contracts, twin flame or otherwise, with any priests or priestesses at the Mo. So, please. It's interesting. We've got the priest. I didn't even see that. The priest and the high priestess. It's a little obvious. I bet you caught it. Blame it on the Alka-Seltzer Plus. Please, my masters, one card in clarity. Show us the lead in the divine feminine here in this Virgo Collective Twin Flame contract for November-ish 2019. Fear of inadequacy, which is fear of not being good enough. And Louise Hay, like first chapter, I think, in You Can Heal Your Life, where she gets into it later, is the reason why self-love is so important. Learning how to love yourself is that we all have at our, not our core, but this, like, our worst fear. Everybody has the same one. I'm not good enough, right? It's never enough. It's never enough. It's all about being enough. So fear of inadequacy, that, you know, that's something that the divine feminine needs to kind of look at, because everybody's got it. No one's exempt from that. That's sort of the last-ditch effort of the toxic ego, and that's just the collective pain of humanity, right? Talk to the inner child when it feels like I'm not good enough. It doesn't matter what I do. No one's ever going to love me. You could say, I know, sweetheart, it feels that way, but I love you. I love you. I get why you feel inadequate. You haven't gotten what you wanted, and that's usually what triggers it. What triggers our feelings of inadequacy? When we don't get what we want, no matter how much we put into it. There's something wrong with me. No, this is how the script is written at this point. Our heart's desires are gonna come sooner or later. They have to manifest because your heart's desires are really intuitions of stuff that's already written into the script of your life. That's what pulls you forward, right? So, excuse me, fear of inadequacy. I need a sip of water. This is water, not wine, I promise. Oh, it feels so good. Gotta stay hydrated, otherwise, just gonna keep coughing. Hopefully that's the last one for a few minutes. All right, that's the lead. Let's get the gold. My masters, please. For this divine feminine father archetype in this Virgo collective twin flame contract for November, we've got fear of inadequacy. What is the gold here? Commitment. Now, commitment to who? Commitment to this one? This one's about facilitating personal commitments. Commitment to the self. Commitment to the study. Commitment to that child. Like you can have like a wedding with your own inner child. That's how I see the emotional heart, as the inner child. It's like, sweetheart, I commit to you that I know you may feel like you're not good enough because maybe some people have abused us, maybe people have neglected us, maybe people have codepended us, maybe we have lost people in the coming and going of life, erosion and renewal, birth, death, and rebirth. But I am here for you, and I promise to you, I vow, and this is the vow I made to my child, I vow on the gods that made me, I will never abandon you. You let me know how you feel. I will hold you. I'm not here to heal you. I'm not here to change you. I'm here to love you and give you your voice without us burning down the village, right? I love you. I love you. I love you. Make that commitment to your own heart like a father to a child. There we go, right? Let's do the same here for the divine masculine in this Virgo Schmergo relationship. Please, my masters, one card in clarity for the divine masculine priest archetype here in this Virgo collective twin flame contract for November-ish 2019. We've got the powerful priest archetype with 4 of Wands. What do you want to add to that? Please. The lead here. Defensiveness. This just came up in the Libra read. So if you have any planets in Libra, you know, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, you might want to check that out. Exact same, well, position. We're only pulling 6 of these cards. So has his guard up, which might be a good thing in this sense, that if they know that they've already fucked up, that they violated trust, that their own spiritual principles, whatever it is that they, in the shadow, that they cop to, right? They say that they do, that they have violated that there's been, and therefore there's this regrouping. They're like, okay, we know we're going into the 5 of Wands next. Let's rally our power. Let's get really clear. Let's put up the walls. Then in that sense, that is healthy. But if they're coming from a defensive place, divine feminine, don't even bother. Because it doesn't matter what you say, they're not going to hear. We all have been in that defensive stance. Now, it's different than, you better come, if you're going to come for me, you better sharpen your claws. Tell me, is you mad or not? Those Jimmy Twos, I'm sorry. I am a drag race channel, can't help it. Bob the Drag Queen, fucking genius. And a Monet Exchange is just delicious. I love the drag queens, right? They're just part of my inner dialogue. Yeah, I don't have an inner monologue. It's a dialogue with all of them. So with that defensiveness, right? If you're the divine masculine here, you got to look at, well, what are you defending? Now, in the light, if you're really trying to just, look, I'm doing the best that I can. I'm praying every day. I'm doing my spiritual path, and some of it's working, some of it's not. Well, then that's fine. If you're defending your spiritual path, that's one thing. But this is a problem card, right? So I'm trying to give you some wiggle room there, divine masculine. So let's see what's the gold that you're bringing to the table here. Please, my masters, one card for the divine masculine in this Virgo collective twin flame contract, please. Well, good timing. So, right place, right time. Thank you so much, which means that there's a divine timing aspect. in all of this, that it's not that you've done anything wrong. Of course you've made mistakes, but you've made mistakes that are teaching you something, right? Perhaps there has been abuse of power all over this, and considering the thief archetype as the overall contract for now, right? The other archetypes come into play. But like a good thief, right? Like, were you waiting for the right timing to do this? Or do you get, it's like, okay, now is the time for me to put up my walls a little bit, to get really clear, to balance my power, and to get right with my gods, my higher power. Because then this is all scripted. This is all just part of the quantum divine plan. Spoiler alert, everything is. That's why we can't get it wrong. We can't get it wrong. It's like a video game, right? So there's something about the divine timing. You could not come to this crossroads until all of this shit went down first. So I would think huge divine opportunity here for a priest archetype to make a new commitment, which is interesting that the commitment is over here. Maybe to the divine feminine in a sense of dropping your defenses, right? All right, let's, or the exact opposite. It's like, no, I've got to end this. But that's a boundary, not a defense. We'll see. We've got more cards to look at here. Let's get the lead and gold of the thief contract, the overall contract here. Please breathe. Please, my masters, one card in clarity for this Virgo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, Twin Flame contract for November-ish 2019. What is the problem, the lead here? Uh-oh. Revenge. Oh, child of the deadly sin of wrath. Revenge. Ooh, that tendency, right? Revenge. Look, lovely little couple walking down below. She's like, want to get stoned? Drops a boulder on their shit. Now look, vengeance takes many, 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 many different forms. Sometimes vengeance takes the form of self-harm to show the other person, see what you made me do? It's a total abdication of power, toxic as it gets. Sometimes the revenge is burning down the village when the child of the heart in its pain, and it's never just about the one person that they're angry at, right, that they're feeling wrath for. It's for the entire collective of their experience, and often the wounded, angry, tyrant child of the collective taking over, feeling that here too. So whatever is going on here, that desire for revenge, please let the child have its voice. Just don't put it on social media. Don't broadcast it. That loving the child, you will quake with with wrath, right? Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. Well, then the divine in you, it doesn't deal with revenge. That's why. It doesn't deal with vengeance. It deals with balance and healing. That everything that's happening is here to help us. So with that vengeful vibe on it, you have to let that child, both sides here, feel that, right? Because there's hidden stuff in here that is part of this celebration, this rite of passage that can be celebrated if you can go with the flow. Your wish fulfillment is coming, but you're going to have to deal. I am not big on emotional repression. Emotional repression is like holding inflatable beach balls under the water. You can do it for a while, you just can't do it forever. Sooner or later it pops up, and when does it pop up? When you're tired, when you're weak, when you're distracted, and then possessed by the pain, and you do something that not only you regret, but that is usually illegal, right? But if it's self-harm in particular, yikes, right? Not worth it. So please, my masters, no shit. Come on, one card in clarity for this Virgo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, Twin Flame contract. Please, what is the gold here? What is the healing, the luck, or the grace available here? The luck card of intimacy. To each of you get intimate with that vengeful voice. This is about inner child work. I'm telling you this right now. Look, you can click off this vid right now and just start binge watching Matt KAHN videos. Look, you can go back to John Bradshaw Homecoming. Brilliant book. Came out in the 80s. Pretty sure the 80s, right? So many books on inner child work. any self-help section is probably replete with the damn things. But I find Matt Kahn's updating of his stuff, he's really good. That he includes with it the true fifth dimensional unity consciousness, that all hearts are one heart, that our bodies are holograms of the entire universe. Planet Earth is the heart. So as think of like, you want to get rid of pollution on the planet, it's the emotional toxins in the water are the emotional, right? It's like, it's a total quantum mirror that way. So to let that vengeance, I fucking hate them, I want them to die, I want them to suffer, they stole from me, how could they violated, she did that, he did that, I fucking hate them. And the whole time you're like, I know, it's okay, sweetheart, it's okay, I love you, I'm here for you, no, we're not going to jail over this, but I love you. And you can feel it all, you can feel it all, you can feel it all. That's why it's called reparenting, right? It's parenting that child within yourself. And can you feel that? If there is someone who has done you dirty, otherwise this isn't your reading, and blessed be. But I get it. I go through this. Look, I'm a witch. You have no idea. Upstairs, I have an upstairs office, which is like a magical Costco, right? I took everything from my old home. All the magical stuff. I mean, there's stuff scattered here and there as decor, but all the heavy duties are upstairs in the office. If I wanted to be that kind of witch, right? Oh, so easy to do. I'm very well trained. I started young. I started on books, right? That's how old I am, right? Scott Cunningham, back in the day, Earth Power. My God, I was reading tarot at age 12. So, look, I could fuck up somebody from a distance, but you understand, I get unity consciousness. I understand the quantum model, and I get that whatever anybody else does to me, they are doing to me what was done to them. So do I return in like kind, or do I allow this child to have its say, use the opportunity in a twin flame context in particular to give that child the love, the acceptance, the approval, the warmth, the embrace, the commitment that it has never had before, right? To give it the love, to give it its voice. But I will speak things for it in private, right? I don't post it online. I try not to. I'm very verbal, right? So when that child speaks, it can tantrum, it can rage the whole time. It's like, go at it, sweetheart. I love you, but we're just not taking any direct action on this to harm anybody. Though I am an eclectic witch, I still take with me the Wiccan read. Not because I'm fluffy, right? Like, I know Wiccans that are so fucking down and deadly, right? Don't cross them, right? To allow harm to exist is harm in and of itself. Excuse me while my contact lens decides it wants to go to Rio. Left eye, divine feminine. Right? She's like, I feel like the divine feminine father archetype is the one that wants to take vengeance, right? But that intimacy, to create that safe space and that vulnerability for those feelings to be embraced and loved. And really, it's just a question of seeing it as a 5-year-old child that didn't get what he wanted, what she wanted, even though she might have put in the work, might have learned a lot, right, in terms of a commitment. Whew. Let's get 3. Pardon me. Not enough over-the-counter meds on the planet to kill this one, I'm guessing. Let's get 3, one for each of the cards in clarity. Whispers of love. The voices of the higher selves of all involved. I find these very helpful. That won't come out. All right, fuck it. Please, the higher selves of all involved, please. 1 card in clarity for the divine feminine in this Virgo collective twin flame relationship for November-ish 2019. Please, 1 card for the divine feminine in this contract. Look at your pattern in relationships. It requires inner strength to recognize that you need to change or modify your behavior. Hence the card of study. Hence the card of the chaotic 5 of blades hurricane thinking, to be like, okay, well, let me keep it in the EYE and the I am that I am. What's my part in this? Like, if you're dealing with a narcissist and you keep going back, if you keep going back to abuse, you have to look at, okay, well then, Am I a passive narcissist? Passive narcissist is different than covert narcissist. Passive narcissist is you are the empathic type. You feel what other people are feeling. You immediately interpret it as their opinion of you. So when they're in a bad mood, you feel bad. When they're in a good mood, you feel good. And if you're in a bad mood, then you people please and manipulate the fuck out of them so that they'll feel better about you. Still narcissistic, right? So we all have a touch of that. So look at your patterns in relationships, particularly when it comes to your fear of inadequacy and commitment. Makes sense? Let's get one for the divine masculine here, please, the higher selves of all involved. Please, one card in clarity for the divine masculine in this Virgo collective twin flame contract for November-ish 2019. New love. Good. New love. But with this defensiveness and good timing, this might be more of a spiritual growth new love, particularly with that priest archetype, right? New love, embrace this new opportunity of love that is here. This may pertain to work opportunities or spiritual growth, and I am kind of feeling that's what this is about, because that priest archetype, right, to facilitate a spiritual commitment to themselves. No, whatever is going on in me, whatever my abusive power is, whatever this is, I have to take a spiritual committed route to this because my guards are up. I've got all of this power. I'm not ready to battle this. I'm not ready to make the changes necessary. So let me embrace this spiritually, this new love, and maybe I can love. And I've said it before. It's not that love doesn't exist in twin flame contracts. It's just you can't give each other what you really want, but you're giving each other what you really need on a soul level. So maybe even a new way to love spiritually, which means unconditional, right? That's agape. We can all do that. We can look past someone's pain and their behavior from a distance and say, no, I love you. You know, if someone is abusing you or neglecting you, the best thing you can do is walk away, because then you are one less person they have to deal with in the cleanup, right? Once they come to their senses, you can say, I love you so much, I have to pull back, both sides, so that I'm one less person that you have to kind of heal yourself over abusing or neglecting, right? That's what I've done. That's love. That's what love would do. Sometimes what love would do is, yeah, no, this isn't about me. The healthiest thing that I can do is love me. And then it's not so much a fuck you to them as it is, no, let's make it a little bit lighter on your soul, one less person that you have to keep doing this to. Because it really feels like dictatorial control, abusive power. There's a mirror here, right? Let's look with this thief archetype, please. For the contract itself, please, higher selves of all involved, one card in clarity. For this Virgo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign twin flame contract for November-ish 2019. Physical touch is important. For some of us, nothing is more important than a tender touch. This might include a pat on the back or giving a hug to someone who needs it. So, you know, if this is in the romantic sexual context, which this would ordinarily indicate, but this could just as easily be family member. This could just as easily be a father, whether, you know, father archetype, a priest archetype, but they've been stealing back and forth from each other for a very long time. That physical touch, just that thing of, hey, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm sorry for the turbulence. I'm sorry for the drama. I'm sorry for the pain. But with revenge and intimacy there, that's going to have to come in its own time. But maybe physical touch is important, might be about each of you doing that separately, right? Nothing like a good massage. Right now, look, if only enlightenment could be attained through the path of the spa. Oh, great manicure, pedicure, facial, and massage. Sounds like Michelle Visage. You know what I'm saying? Is like if bloody only, then there is something here about getting the physical needs met in terms of physical touch, in terms of physical contact. I mean, look, Virgos were earth signs, right? So as much as we can be up in our heads, witch head, there's definitely that need with this go with the flow and the high priestess, that there is a need for physical touch. That physical touch is important somewhere here, and maybe if this is romantic sexual, that's what you're really craving for each other, and that's what you're stealing from each other. How can you satisfy that important physical touch without having to be dishonorable, right? To highlight what is that which can never be stolen. That's tricky. I'll admit that right there. We are going to end with the Journey of Love Oracle card. I'm going to read it from the book just because there's poetry going on in these, and I'm not memorizing the poems. I don't even memorize my own. So, although I'm familiar with that man from Nantucket. No gag reflex. Let's keep it light, shall we? Please, here we go. We started with the collective pantheons. We end with the collective pantheons. Breathe. My collective pantheons of angels, gods, goddesses, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Please, one card for this Virgo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Twin flame contract for November-ish 2019. There's the winner. Oh, we've never gotten this card before. Number 20, Sweet Soul Rising. Not to be confused with Mr. Mojo Rising. Sweet Soul Rising, card number 20, which is a 2. Oh, he does math, too. Helps if you turn the book correct side up. Let me read this for you. Usually done in 3 parts. Just kind of what the card means in an oracular sense, meaning as an oracle, and then a poem, right? So here we go. Beautiful card, too. Breathe. You may feel lost in your own thoughts and feelings. Divine Feminine. This is the sweetness of surrender into another world. It's a time to dream, to wonder, not to be clear and sharp right at this precise moment. Oh, it's very much like the card of the moon, tarot card of the moon. If you have a clear plan, let it become soft and feel your heart open to allowing whatever may be. We might believe that it is through tough action and dynamic assertiveness that we make our way through the world, yet sometimes the sweetness of the soul rises, and instead we can flow gently with the currents of the cosmic ocean, unsure of where we are headed, but safe in the truth that all waters naturally return to the ocean, where they are all wanting to go eventually anyway. You can use your own efforts to swim to your destination against the current at times, or you can float on the sweet love of your own soul as it enjoys the privilege of getting to know itself as one with the divine. In other words, you're taking the journey of love. You're taking the path of true love. That this is about stop. Stop trying to dictatorial control. Stop with the abuse of power here. Flow. Yeah, you don't know what's going on with the High Priestess in this contract. So go and flow with it. Yeah, and you will, I'm hearing you with that revenge. It will soften that revenge, right? Because you can't relax and have revenge. They're really contradictory. With that intimacy, and you will get that physical touch as necessary, but not necessarily from each other. But that's necessary for earth signs. It's like it's okay. It's I love you, I've got your back, right? The oracular positioning here. This oracle brings you guidance now. Surrender and flow. This is not the time to assert your will and try to make things happen, no matter how much you may want to or believe that you should, vengeance or otherwise. There is something bigger happening, and everything is going to turn out perfectly according to a far larger plan. You can't circumvent the divine plan. You might as well go with it. That includes your well-being too, beloved. Sometimes we have to let go of our expectations about how that bigger plan will be achieved and just let it happen, trusting that it will eventually take place even without us striving to make it so. This is one of those times. So sure, there is time where the divine plan absolutely needs our participation, and I would say more often than not, right? It's like through the choices and the decisions that we make in the quantum field here, whether we love ourselves or not, like that's part of the participation in the divine plan, following your intuition, etc. But then there are times where it's like, okay, let it go, let it flow, let the waters take us to and fro, right? Just wherever this is supposed to go, all right. So that would, of course, be releasing defenses here for the divine masculine, and really then letting go of that fear of inadequacy, because it's like, because there's a divine plan. No one is so fucked up or so powerful that they can circumvent the divine plan, because the divine plan seems to be very self-correcting, where go ahead, the gods say, we want you to turn left, you want to turn right, well, we'll just make you take a couple of more right turns so that you eventually go in the direction, right? Doesn't matter how long it takes. The divine plan takes everything into consideration because it's holographic. Study quantum physics. It's a mind blow, but it says more about fifth dimensional reality than you expect. Let's end with the poem here. Oh, good. This is rhyming. I like it when they rhyme. They don't always. Please breathe. With innocence I share my heart, a smile expressing with a tear. Sweet words and feelings that impart everything that I hold dear. The promise of a blossom high, the air is bathed in fragrant scent. To reach the sun you have to fly, desire wells with love that's meant. To wait for heaven's soft embrace, a fruit so firm and succulent, God's promised must remain so chaste while passion's glow is slowly spent. Such patience born with time's insight, my soul doth burn in embers light, and savors fresh and moist and ripe, the gift of love when it is right. Well, for the highest good and harming none, as I will, so let it be done. That's like a spell in the making. Give me a half hour. You told that fucker into a spell. All right, one little sippy sip. See, water, coffee dehydrates, and then I'm just like going back and forth. Say it with me, my peoples, my Virgos. Magic clap. Bam. We start off with the divine feminine with the father archetype. The shadow, dictatorial control and abuse of authority. The light attribute, talent for creating and supporting life, positive guiding light within a tribal unit. Dealing with study. She is in study. Studying her masculine energy, again, with that card of the sweet soul rising to go with the flow. Really trying to figure out what action can I take, and that would make sense with that Five of Blades, the hurricane. Thinking. And really kind of a spinning of the wheels to keep it in the eye of the hurricane and the letter I, the I that I am, right? To work on you. To deal with the fears of inadequacies and make that commitment to yourself to look at your patterns in relationship because it requires inner strength to recognize that you need to change or modify your behavior, perhaps in a way of, oh, let's just ride this one out. Let's float on our back and see where this takes us. For now. For the divine masculine, we have the priest archetype in the shadow. Violates the trust of your spiritual community. Seduced by your own spiritual role. Definitely spiritual ego hitting big there. The light attribute facilitates spiritual commitments and serves as a channel of spiritual energy, hopefully unto himself, right? To be a blessing unto himself, to make his own spiritual commitments, what are his own personal sacramental stages, right? Commitments. Because dealing with a lot of power here, and with the Four of Wands, not quite ready to fight, but getting ready, right? Not really ready to go into the battle, as it were, to deal with the conflicts within and without. So the defensiveness is there, right? The walls are up, the cannons are loaded, the rifle has bullets in it. But there's something about good timing here. It's like while they're doing that, the divine timing thing is just playing out. So perhaps they are in that process of healing with that new love here. Embrace this new opportunity of love that is here. This may pertain to work opportunities or spiritual growth, and it really does feel like this is about their own spiritual growth and their own healing path. The overall contract, the shadow attribute, stealing money, creative ideas, affection, or other powers you think you lack. So do keep that in mind, which whether you are divine masculine or divine feminine. What are the powers you think you lack? Because we've got fear of inadequacy here and defensiveness, so there's some sort of, well, you can't have a thought of fear without lack, and you can't have a thought of lack without fear. That's Course in Miracles. So the light attribute, shed lights on the potential wealth within you that can never be stolen. And of course that is about the soul, your inborn gifts that you are meant to give away, not have stolen from you. The more you give away your spiritual gifts, the stronger they get. They like the ability, the capacity to love without attachment. The more you give that away, the more you have. Because here we've got the card of celebration, that yet there is something here to be celebrated in this. A rite of passage in its completion, but a lot of that is hidden with the High Priestess there, even into this reading. Like there's a mystery here you're not supposed to know, but do go with the flow, as seen in the Nine of Cups, the Kuan Yin card, that it's leading to some sort of resolution and celebration, perhaps some revelation along the way. But balancing out this thing of revenge, like be very, very, very careful that the revenge, whether on yourselves individually, to the other in this twin flame, however it plays out, that it doesn't make it to the action stage, that it go intimate, be vulnerable with that part of you, allow that voice to come up. And with that, physical touch is important. You know, just to read out the card, for some of us, nothing is more important than a tender touch. This might include a pat on the back or giving a hug to someone who needs it, but only in healthy context, not in a Me Too, toxic, fucked up situation, right? So if this is about sexual abuse or you know, if this is one person Me Tooing another, holy fuckballs, call a lawyer, right? I mean, I guess a twin flame contract could be that. But then, honestly, the healthy response here for the overall contract would not be sweet soul rising, go with the flow. That there's something here to be celebrated. There's a great healing here for both involved, but the other person is really just a facilitator to help them get there, not to give them what they want on this. So perhaps there was a lot of tension, a lot of thinking, a lot of pain, a lot of suffering in this contract, but it is soon to come to an end. But it's through surrender to the divine plan, not by taking revenge. It's by parenting that child within as the divine feminine father and the divine masculine priest individually, right? So there you have it, magic clap back. Well, my Virgos, that was a journey, right? I mean, a lot of it does resonate for me, but it's definitely not the twin flame I just stepped out of, so that's a really, really good thing for me. Very happy about that, because the twin flame I was involved in no way has the priest or priestess archetype. Doesn't have it in him, at least I never saw it within him. The potential, not the capacity. But overall, now you know. Now at least you know whether you're the divine masculine or the divine feminine here, to really go within and do your work, which is the same with any twin flame context, contract. But now you have some indicators, some clues, some tips, some hints along the way. So may the Virgo collective sun, moon, rising, Venus sign twin flame contracts be blessed with all that they need to heal, to grow, to become the best that they can be, to fulfill their role in the divine plan, right? May they all be blessed for the well-being of all, and so it is. Please do like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell. You know the drill. Help your Virgo brother achieve his goals. Been working this path for a long time. Been reading more people. I lost count. So love doing this, but really want to do the super live chat. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. But for now, my virgins, cross your legs. Mine are. You can't see, really. Hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed, blessed be.